Question of the day time, Lyle.
Yes, what is it?
Okay. We're doing part 2 of a 3-part series. It was a big question that came in. This question is, what does it mean when it says Jesus fulfilled the law?
Okay, that's a really good question. It's found in Matthew chapter 5, and we will go down to verse 17 where it says this. Think not, or don't think that I have come to destroy the law or the prophets. I have not come to destroy, but to fulfill. For truly I say, and I'll keep that next verse for just a moment. We'll consider this verse one at a time, because we need to have context. All right, so here's what you've got. You've got two options with this verse. And the key is your understanding of the word fulfill. What does that actually mean? Fulfill can mean, and there are those who believe and would argue that it means that Jesus fulfilled everything that the law required, therefore we don't need to keep any of the law. Jesus has done it all, therefore, we don't need to keep the law of God. And from that, they then go on to say that the law of God has been done away with. Jesus brought it to an end by fulfilling what it said needed to happen. There are others who would say that Jesus fulfilled the law by keeping the law and thus setting an example for us. Okay, now there is an element of truth in both. So Jesus fulfilled the law. In other words, he kept all of the law perfectly himself. He was the perfect human being. That meant that he could give his life as a perfect sacrifice for us. However, that does not mean that Jesus did away with the law. And the reason that we understand that is because what the word fulfill is contrasted with within the passage. So the contrasting word to fulfill is the word destroy. Okay, so notice what it says here. I have not come to destroy the law. So what is Jesus saying that he has not come to do? He has not come to destroy the law. No, he's going to fulfill the law. Well, the opposite of destroy is obviously to preserve, to keep, to establish. And those who try and do away with the law of God, they stop reading right there and they don't read the next verse, which says very, very simply, verse 18, for truly I say unto you, till heaven and earth passes away, one jot or one tittle, that is one punctuation mark, shall in no wise pass from the law until all is fulfilled. Okay, so the Bible goes on, Jesus goes on to make it very, very clear that until heaven and earth disappears, in other words, the earth and the atmospheric heavens that surround it, until they are gone, nothing's ever going to disappear from the law. So really all you need, if you want to find out, is the law of God still in place? Is a window.
A window?
Yeah, you look out the window. Is the earth still there? Yep. It's still there. Is the atmosphere still there? Atmosphere is still there? Yep, the atmosphere is still there. Therefore, the law of God has not been done away with.
I see.
It's really that simple. Okay, so if we go over and there's the law of God is a major feature of the New Testament, but let me just show you one or two verses if I can in the time that we've got. Romans chapter 3 is a really good one. Why did Romans disappear out of my Bible? And verse 31, Paul actually addresses this issue of whether or not the law has been done away with. He says, do we make void or do away with the law through faith? Does faith and God's grace do away with the law of God? He says, God forbid. In contrast to that, what does he say? We establish the law. He goes on to say that without the law, he would not know what sin was in Romans chapter 7 and verse 7. And then in verse 12, he says, wherefore the law is holy, and the commandment holy and just and good. Let me see if I can find one for you real quick in 1 John chapter 2 and verse 4. He that says, I know him, and does not keep his commandments is a liar, and the truth is not in him. That's pretty simple right there. God's law is still in place. Jesus kept it perfectly as an example for us.
Thanks for answering that, Lyle. If you have a question, give us a call here. 1-800-FAITH-FM is our number. You can ask us any question. And by the way, stay tuned. We're giving away movie tickets next.